Thank you. So, yeah, I hate to start off like this, but I had some horrible news right before I walked on. I mean, literally, just minutes before I walked on, I got a phone call letting me know that, this is tough to say. The extended warranty on my car is about to expire. I really didn't know. I really didn't know how to handle that. I had no idea. It was shocking. I thought, God, after the year it's been, what now? What's next? But the good news is, I was informed that there's still time to save it. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll be able to get that taken care of soon. So many of you have probably seen Mayor Tyre came to the city council asking for roughly $1 million. It was like $940,000 or $960,000 for a project for water and sewer lines going down to Bosquet's, where Milltown has made a considerable investment. Bosquet and Berkshire West across the street. And they've dumped millions into their, Bosquet is doing better than I've seen it going like this since I was a kid. But, so the mayor went to the council asking for roughly $1 million. And the council thought, this is a great idea, infrastructure, probably a really good way to spend the money. So the councilors all decided maybe we should go down there and check this out first. So now, I don't know if many of you know exactly where this location is. So the councilors went down there, basically where Stop and Shop is on Dan Fox Drive. They all went in a group down that way, heading towards Bosquet's, right down at the end of the hill there. In fact, you probably know where it is. Right when you get halfway down the hill, there's a do not pass sign right there. And unfortunately, that's as far as the city councilors got. So it got really confusing. But Councilor Helen Moon said, this is ridiculous. Why would you put a do not pass sign right here? I think they're trying to prevent us from getting down there to see what's really going on. Kevin Morandi, he was upset too. He said, I have to agree with Councilor Connell on this one, 100%. Earl Persip immediately spoke up, and Councilor Persip said, absolutely no way. Councilor Connell is 100% wrong with this. There's no way. I disagree with him 100% on that. And then Councilor Connell spoke up and said, hang on a second, I haven't even said anything yet. Which he then said, I'd like to see a receipt for this do not pass sign, though. This is kind of ridiculous. Yuki Cohen said, here. And when everybody asked her what, she said, I. So that was kind of strange. But Patrick Cavey and Dina Lampiazzi, our wards 5 and 6 city councilors, thought maybe we could take some money from free cash and put lights around the do not pass sign, and that would draw more attention to it, and maybe then people would, abide by the rules. And Nick Kakamo just thought, it's just way too much pavement, and maybe we need some trees to shade the area behind the sign and have a light that would shine down on it. That way it would be seen better. I mean, there has to be a reason all these cars kept going right by this do not pass sign, even though the councilors were standing there. But anyway, City Council President Peter Marchetti and Pete White, they said maybe we should get a petition, we'll sponsor it together, and have a toll booth put in. I mean, if people are going to drive right by the do not pass sign, maybe they should pay a toll. I don't know. But then Councilor Mafuccio said this is ridiculous. He's going to be filing a petition to have himself removed from the council. But he'll probably table it because everything, this is all just too crazy. I agree with Councilor Mafuccio. It was really insane. But then Chief Wynn, who was across the street, just shook his head. He tried to explain to the councilors that they could go down there to view the site. And right at that time, our district attorney, Andrea Harrington, drove by. So even though you probably didn't hear much coverage on this, don't be surprised if you see in the Berkshire Eagle in the next day or two that our district attorney, Andrea Harrington, was seen driving right past a do not pass sign in Pittsfield. And I guess she did it, and police were around and everything, and nobody did anything about it. So, anyway, all that happened. But bottom line is, everything ended up working out, and it got approved, and we're going to be running the new water and sewer lines, heading down to Bosques. So, as many of you know, this is an election year for the city of Pittsfield, or as many of our seniors refer to it as ice cream and popsicle season. But you'll be seeing a lot of candidates come out with their slogans, forward, whatever, into the future, and you'll see them working together. They'll be endorsing each other, you know, all that good stuff that comes with our local elections, you know, where they're, you're awesome, you're great, no, you're great, she's great, he's great, we're awesome, we're a team, we're awesome, they're not awesome, they're bad, they're not awesome, we're awesome, everything we've done for you, blah, 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 we'll hear all that. So, and then you'll hear all the slogans and everything. So, some of the councilors have announced that they are, or not, running for re-election. Some haven't. Our at-large councilor, or one of our at-large councilors, Yuki Cohen, who many of you probably saw, she was in the headlines a month or two ago, for some penalties and an infraction she had to go in front of the licensing board for as a business owner. But she's running for re-election, and she said she doesn't understand why everyone's picking on her. She hasn't done anything. Councilors Marchetti, Persip, and White made the headlines a couple weeks back with their pay-as-you-throw trash proposal. Many of you remember that. And, you know, it was funny. Councilor Marchetti said during the meeting, it's not like this was just out of the blue. I've been discussing this for a year or two with this company. and that made me think of, well, for one, I thought, that's out of the blue, Councilor Marchetti. He didn't get it. And it reminded me of when my ex-wife came to me one day and she said, I'm sorry, Michael, but it's over. And I said to her, what are you talking about? Just like that? Out of the blue? Just like that? After 10 years, it's over? And she said, no, this isn't out of the blue. I've been cheating on you for 2 years. I mean, that's still out of the blue. So even though Councilor Marchetti had been thinking about this or talking about this with people for the past couple years, it was out of the blue for the rest of us. By the definition of out of the blue, I'm assuming he means kind of like out of thin air. So, yeah. Anyway, it was kind of like the modern day comparative if you were to say, oh, there's no way anybody in the room saw me. I had my eyes closed the whole time. For it to not be out of the blue, we'd all have to know. What's that? What? No, I was just saying that's not out of the blue. What's that? Oh, it looks like we've got a Councilor Marchetti fan down here. And he's a Councilor Marchetti and a Councilor Moon fan also. Excuse me? I'm always fair. Why do you think I single out those two the most? Well, okay, so, no, I absolutely, look, I think at-large Councilor Peter Marchetti has a great sense of humor. In fact, just last week, he snuck over to Dan Valenti's house and removed the safety harness from his toilet. And City Councilor, our Ward 1 City Councilor, Helen Moon, no, look, she takes this very serious. I mean, I don't always agree with her on everything. There's a lot I disagree with her on, but she takes it very serious. I mean, Helen has been involved in politics, from what I understand, since she was a little girl. In fact, when she was in the 3rd grade, she organized a group to defund the Crossing Guard Association. So, ever since then, she's been full steam ahead. Another big item that was on the city council agenda a couple meetings back was a petition submitted by our Pittsfield city clerk, Michelle Benjamin. And she was asking the city council to vote on capping the city council meetings at 4 hours. She said 4 hours is just, that's long enough. And if you can't get it done in 4 hours, something's wrong. I mean, we're all professional, educated adults here. And the council discussed it, kicked it around back and forth. A lot of them said, I know we signed up for this, but man, 4 hours, that's a long time. So, that's where it was at. And ultimately, they voted in favor of capping it at 4 hours. Although that meeting took 5 hours and 15 minutes for them to come to that decision. So if it took 5 hours and 15 minutes for this council to decide that 4 hours was more than enough time for educated individuals to be able to solve or at least vote on these issues, then shouldn't that disqualify all of them right there immediately? Just in my opinion. I also heard our Ward 6 city councilor, Dina Guil-Lampiazzi, was upset about a couple things that she's working on. I guess she was watching CNN the other day, and she saw on there from Governor Newsom that California would be continuing to do mass vaccinations for the next 30 to 60 days with what they have scheduled now. And she said as soon as she heard that, she sat up and said, mass vaccinations in California? Oh my God. Does Trisha Farley Bouvier know about this? So I guess, she contacted Trisha Farley Bouvier and said, you're never going to believe this. I was watching CNN, and they're doing mass vaccinations in California, and they're going to continue to do that for 30 to 60 days. How is that affecting us here? And Trisha got really concerned, so I called Trisha, and I said, Representative Farley Bouvier, I've tried to make people aware of this in the past. In fact, just a year and a half ago with the wildfires in California, they did mass evacuations. And that was shocking. I mean, my neighbors spent 17 days in Vermont. So now that Trisha's on it, we'll probably get some answers. And that should at least keep her occupied till July. But really, everyone, thank you so much. I want everyone to know that this spawned from just a message I got, and me being me, the stubborn person I am, it turned into this. But really, this is all in good fun. This is not meant to be mean or hateful or anything like that. This is in good fun. Any of our city councilors or any of our city elected officials can reach out to me anytime. This platform is there. And this is, we all have a common goal. And I say this all the time, but that common goal should be to see Pittsfield get better and better and become the best place it can be for all of us to live here. So that's it. So thank you everyone for following the page. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun doing this, and then I'll have to get back to our regular videos soon. So hope to see a lot of people running for election this year. Please do. Anybody even thinking about it, contact me. I'd be more than happy to help you in any way I can, or at least point you in the right direction. And again, to any of our city councilors, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And that's it for now, and I'll catch you back with the normal stuff no later than next Monday.